So, I will show you two things. The one is an update on the DITA-OT, and I went as far as you could go, so the question is how far can you go, and I want to someone of the DITA-OT team count all the things where I've been breaking the rules of the DITA-OT, because I don't know whether I'm going over the limits, so you may judge. First of all, the thing is available by March 2022-4, and it's always on the last level of the DITA Open Toolkit, so I apologize that I didn't figure in fast enough that we are on 4.2 meanwhile, while I'm on 4.1.2, but it was just a half a day. I couldn't manage that one. There are several extensions in the Open Toolkit what you can do, and I'm just running through that. First of all, you have marginalia, something I really wanted to do because this is very helpful for doing excellence documentation. And for me, excellence documentation, where I'm heading for, is not if the reader is happy, but if the writer is happy, it's important the reader must be happy reading it. So I think it was a good idea to do. So you can do the marginalia spacing, so the size of the gutter you can define either in the data map itself, or you can have a design profile, which means you can have different profiles for different documentations, because you have these corporate policies where they want to have this or that way, and you'll see that I'm very much different here as every data document you've seen before. Yeah, it looks like something like this one. You can do something with this margin area, and you can put some images in, but this is all about the same thing. Now, another new thing is to keep paragraphs together. Sometimes you want that, and you know this thing. I had to fight Microsoft Word, of course, because they came up to me and said, can you do what Microsoft Word can do? And the answer is yes, I can. So I can keep paragraphs together if it's important. I can also say that a paragraph should go 70 millimeters into the side here, just by defining. Sometimes it can be helpful, and I'll show you some examples a little later. So it's just doing with an output class, you can specify the indentation of the text. Might be helpful. The other one is you can make a compact paragraph. So sometimes it helps if you want to have a new line, but you really don't want to enhance to another paragraph. Simply spoken, make it compact, it will follow right in the line there. Very important, DITA has always been done for books, right? But if you want to write a letter, you're not going to make paragraph by paragraph. Maybe you may hit the distance from the top you want to see. You want to make a form, and the form has 150 millimeters to come with the text. And so you can define the absolute position of a paragraph like here, and you making up a letter is very easy from that time on, because then you really specify the things. Coming from there are some extensions to styling, and now we are getting to the hard thing, because it's certainly very difficult to tamper with things like you get color on the text. This is not meant to be so, but I allowed myself to put some formatting statements into the paragraph the way that I could move this paragraph a little bit up, that it's closer to the line. I could choose a smaller font, I could give it a color, and all these things come just with a few definitions in the paragraph itself. So this really enhances the predictability of things, and you can do much more than you would do with the classical DITA things. And whether this is violating already the rules, I don't know, but this feature, doing some special treatment like colors, background color, whatever you want, is coming up with anything here, as you see, row, edits, paragraphs, bold, ph, it's all there, so you can do a lot of formatting in your documents. Next one is sections. I made some changes on the sections. You can have a different indentation on this. Section with the empty title is possible. This is a very nice thing. Section with an empty title means you can transport a lot of paragraphs just being under a section, and you just convert the sections and you have all the paragraph things. So it's very nice for text-free usage. As we have just seen, the oxygen annotations are already part of this plugin, so you get it all, and it will appear right downside. This is what it reads in the PDF thing while you're here with the comments. So by the way, it's not so easy because it's not structured. So something very nice, which I got from the book formerly White, is to repeat the row colors. I think it's very helpful. And again, this thing to move some text up, like here, like this one, you see is up 5 points, can go with a row. So if you really want to do some dense tables, it's a very nice thing, because then you can make a construction like this, which you might want to have. So it's all up to you whether you use it or not. That goes for the entire row. And now, when I started to do forms and not just writing a text of a technical documentation, I would want to have this like a table frame equals 1 and output class compact, whatever you want. So it's kind of a table you can't see, but what you would do, you want to have boxes in there where you can crossing, whatever you do. And there I had developed a syntax that you can say, okay, the cell color will be yellow, the box will have a line of 0.52, and the color of the actual thing will be this is blue RGB, so this is the color of the line. You can do that very easily, and try this with the DITA statements, by the way. The call separation, whatever you have, you can't go as far as that. It's not possible. So you need it where? Now if you have a table and something you want to do in a table, where you have a sum here which is right aligned, and here you are left aligned, you want to have a very nice proximity between the things. It's not that easy, because the default thing of tables might give you more. So what you can do is you can create boxes, and you say I want to write top bottom. Right top or bottom is this one, and this is that left top bottom. You can define the lines you have. You can give them a color. You can say the things should go to the right and to the left. So you have your right 2 points, so it's moving to the right, and this is one moving to the left. So you can have any distance between the things. And finally, of course, you don't need the colors. You can also just have the numbers and put it so much to an alignment that you have a precise definition of the things you get out of it. Nice thing, by the way, how it works. If you can do a little bit of an XLSLT, you can just get an Excel. I have a macro, you can get this macro, where you can make just an XSLT thing from an Excel. It automatically goes to the form, it automatically produces some letters, which automatically produces invoices. So just pressing the button will give me an entire set of 6 documents in 6 invoices automatically generated, and they come with something like that. So it's a housekeeping service invoice, and I have to tell the rentals what the costs are, and that they can better read it. You will have a table which can change the colors in the row. Look like this. So just have a definition on the tables. Here we go. Yeah. Now there is this nice feature, expands page for an image, so you could actually do it page-wide. The problem is with that picture. Expands to the page will break the vertical lines because it doesn't work. So I improved the expand thing to that we check the size of the picture. This is part int, so the DITA knows the size of the pictures and can say, oh no, I have to do it this way. I cannot do it this way because it's a very special picture. Next one is, I like links in graphic. If you make excellence documentation, you want to make the reader tip on this one, and here we go. But nobody actually can measure the coordinates correctly here in order to find the right millimeters to get the field on. So you can print it out another way. You give some statements in your source. Ruler, you want to have a ruler, you want to show it. So you can see by the ruler you can exactly specify the number, the distance of the field. You make one go and you know the right position coordinates just by printing it. Okay, nice thing. You can change the dots of a paragraph, which is very helpful. You can, very important, you can have an offset on ordered list. So you start with an offset here and you continue something you started before. That's a nice thing to have. Wow, and this is something, if you go with a paragraph and you make a column in the navigation title, it will suppress the numbering, which you want if you have a legal text here, but it will still maintain the chapter where you are, so you can do some conditions and we'll go to the paragraph things, automatically not having this title numbering, which is very helpful. Okay, you can do landscape just in a moment. The hardest thing ever to do on the DITA Open Toolkit was that. Getting head 1 without starting a new page. That's tough. because it's typically coming with a concept, and the entire toolkit is focused on doing that on a new page. So it was the real hard work. Yeah. But it's Greenpeace approved, so your printing paper is less. Okay, so what you could do on the front page is you can do watermark, you can do 2 icons. You have the confidential thing on the page. That is an SVG thing. So it's everything is controlled by some settings in the front page. So that's a very attractive front page. Picture of my daughter. And now, very good thing. Creating a glossary is like you have a master glossary. You do only references in your document, only that. And you get an automatic glossary after that with only the references that you have made in your document. So it's an automatic glossary generation, and the same is for the bibliography. So this is the output for free. You don't have to write anything, you just make references. And this is the terms and abbreviations, same thing. So it's no work. But be careful, that document is no more available on the internet. And this you shouldn't really put out in your documents, because that is, you must be sold. So be careful doing so and deliver PDFs that you have, but you're not supposed to deliver. Okay, I like the meeting report. Once in your life, you export contacts into an XML from your Microsoft thing, and you get the macro, and then you make some computation, and you get the participants here as a data file, which you include in your report, and it looks like this one. You have all these kind of things here. Just by mentioning the names, you can distribute to the list of the things which comes automatically here, and you can have it with pictures, which I like because I cannot remember the names for the people, but I can see who was in the meeting, so it's much easier. It's all for free. It's just writing a short list of names. It's available as PDF, it's available as HTML, CHM, whatever you want. And as Microsoft Word, of course, had to be. So, next one is, excellence documentation for me has to do with that I'm able, now I'm in the second part of this presentation, has to do with it I should be able as a reader to find what I need to know. And my reference is Wikipedia, because there you find everything, because there's always a link somewhere. Now, what happened if I was in some document, writing some text, wanted to see, you have to check this, what I'm doing here. And that's why I wanted to have a reference to some, let's say, document I know, and I wanted to see a chapter, 9. What happens if I would just mark this up, press F12, and I was running to chapter 9 in the PDF. It was as easy as writing. Yeah? And if I wanted to be in another chapter, I wanted chapter 5, I would just write chapter 5, I can mark up this thing, and press F12, I'm in chapter 5. This is power, because by just by writing something, you're very, very fast. And I'm now talking about a plugin which goes on the Acrobat, on the PDF, and it's not going into something like DITA. But it's very helpful, and it does have something to do in DITA, because now you can in DITA forget about XREF, href, whatever you do. Use something else. If you want to go to your document, in your DITA source, you will write this one. Just write that. And you can already press in DITA to the explicit chapter, and you'll be there. And there is some more. It still will give you a link where you actually can link the thing, but on the processing you are doing later, the links will automatically be computed for you. So you don't need to do this, you just write it this way. Now you see some naming convention, I call it easy read here. We might come to that a little bit later, but I want to show you this link technology, which is very powerful. It's part of the Acrobat as an API, so it's really C++ code. By the way, it's about 20,000 lines of code. The good news is 10,000 lines is comments. But anyway, it's very much. So and where would you do that? First of all, Acrobat itself does have a calling convention which allows you to add a name destinations to the command line, whatever you do. And this name destination is something which is in the PDFs. It's a target where you go to.
As an example, you might be visiting your account statements where you find a record where you want to see the associated invoice. So just mark up the tag in brackets, press F12, and the invoice appears instantly.
Now, if you are writing code, and this is actually code from this from the plugin, you can comment if you want to know what this function is going to do. It's very easy. You just go there and ask the menu where the function is being described. It's in a second, and you get the interface and all the descriptions. It's very nice. So this is what it's all about. I think, are we running out of time? Are we?
It's okay.
So because now I wanted to show you something which comes from another world. First of all, I told you that you can easily go to the documents, but for that you would have to do something. You need to maybe a little bit to this is the document you get. And now we are playing with that a bit. First of all, this document is bought for about 150 euros from the ISO standardization, and it does not have bookmarks. Oh, wow, this is funny. Okay, this way you know it, right? So it doesn't have bookmarks, it doesn't have any named destinations. This is a very stupid thing, honestly, but it does have something. It does have a table of contents, and now we are tweaking a little bit with this this table of contents. Here it is. What I'm doing is, first of all, I'm doing a smart copy of this table of contents. I'm going to a directory as a foo text whatever. I'm doing this one, making a small copy of this one. I say I have a small program, foo text, and get a foo bkx, and this looks like the same thing. Now I know this page 1 actually is on page 9, the scope, so I need an offset of 8 pages. And now comes the magic. I have a plug-in. This is now the plug-in which is brought to Acrobat. I'm going to import bookmarks. Let me do that one. Ignore the warning, and the bookmarks come. So you can tune up a PDF document in a very elegant way. Now, as you have the bookmarks, yes, what you can do is you wanted to have destinations from bookmarks, so you get the named destinations in, and the named destinations are the things you need to get from the outside into the document. So at this very moment, I already have tweaked the document the way you can externally address it. I call it ISO 4, and from that moment on, this bad document was able to be referenced by ISO 4, blah blah blah, for if you want it, chapter 5.3, 5.3, 5.4. Same way, I'm ending up in chapter 5.4 of the document. Took me 10 minutes to prepare a document from that part into anything else. Some other features here is same magic. You have a requirements list, and you have writing a document where you have in your code have satisfied some requirements from a specification. It's important, but you don't have the bookmarks here, and you don't need the bookmarks. What you really want to do is the following: you're marking up this position here in the text, and you say, I want to get 1 minute. Okay. I want the destinations from the text. You can run a small check, and you might already have the destinations from which you can address the different topics of your project, so the way you have prepared it to get an external access to the right requirements. So in your document you're writing, from that moment on you can say, I satisfied the conditions by this requirement, and with the instant thing that I just was showing you, the auditor can have a look into this thing and can immediately, let's say, verify that your statement is correct. So this is really power what you can do. Let me see what we have. Some more examples. Oops. Export. Okay. Since I have to finish, I can invite you, if you are more interested in the thing, there are some powerful features. Again, with that left, you can do a hell of things in preparing documents. One I have, which is totally crashed. Document does not have even bookmarks, doesn't have anything, but I could refresh the document to have bookmarks and book titles, let's say in about 1 minute. And you have prepared the entire document. I'm open to demonstrate this. Is just running out of time here, but believe me, you don't believe how many management battles I could win when they asked me, Helmut, where is this written? I was having this mark up there in the PowerPoint thing and gave the answer in about 10 seconds. Management doesn't wait any longer. And so far, that was very successful, because you are very convincing if you are able to jump in a document on this very particular page to this very Y position where this statement is being written, where you are. That tool you have just seen 10% of the things you can do. And they're all a little bit of a magic. Sorry, I really do invite you. What I can say is, for the DITA Open Toolkit Explorer plugin, which I created, there's about documentation of about 200 pages, which describes as a reference manual. Everything's described. And for the PDF plugin, it's about 180 pages. Everything's described. Every tool, how to use it, whatever. Because actually, the challenge was, I want to do excellence documentation. And finally, the reader decides, not the author. So you may decide. Thank you very much.